Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. What separates the dreamers from change makers? How do we shift our mindset from I'll do it someday to making it happen today? And what is the best way to bring kindness to life? These are the questions we're going to explore today on Kindness Rising. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't need more people who think kind thoughts. The world needs more people who take kind action. Today on Kindness Rising, we're moving from thought to action and learning simple ways to train ourselves to be kind, not just think kind, so we can really begin living the dream.
This is Kindness Rising.
What if I told you there's a simple way to make it all real? There's been studies done that show us when we move from thought to action, that's when we are really able to bring our kindness every day. There was a study done by a gentleman named Dr. Peter Gallitzer, and he came up with an idea called the inflammation intention that increases our success, our chance of making our dreams happen by 200 to 300%. And it's really easy. It just takes two simple words. If, then. Don't just say, I want to be kinder. Be specific. If you see someone struggling with their groceries, here's an example. If I see someone struggling with their groceries, then I will offer help. If, then. I've always been a dreamer. I've spent a lot of time in my head wishing, imagining, thinking about things, contemplating a different way. And for a long time, I said, someday I'm gonna. I always want to. But then I always come up with excuses. It's not the right time. I don't know how. What if people laugh? All those things. And then I changed my mindset. I used the if then principle, and it's changing my life. Here's the statement that I used to help myself change. If I meet someone who has lived the dream I want, then I will ask how they did it and align myself with them and open myself to their advice. If I meet someone who has lived the dream I want, then I will ask them how they did it and align myself with them. That's how I ended up here. When I met Keith Billis back in April, I asked that question. How do I align myself with this person? They are living the dream that I want. When he landed in my inbox and I had a chance to talk to him, I asked him. I opened up to his advice. And here we are, 3 months later, delivering a daily program, bringing you hope, humanity, and heart, bringing my best self and living the dream that I have always wanted because I moved from thought to action. And today we're going to talk about organizations that are actually living that same principle. These aren't little fly-by-night organizations. We're talking about Amazon. We're talking about Netflix. We're talking about Spotify. We're going to use research from Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania to prove that when we move from thought to action, we begin to live our dreams. Here's an example from Amazon. They build bridges to their audience every day. They use the statement, speed matters in business, and many decisions are reversible. They take action first. They have a bias towards action. So while competitors are still in meetings thinking about the ideas and what they want to do, Amazon is out there serving their customers with action. This isn't just efficiency, it's practical kindness. If something, then this. So I'm going to ask you one question. I have a challenge for you later today, but while we're going through today, think about this. What's one kind thought that you've been carrying around? Something that you really want to do for something, somehow to make a difference in the world, but you haven't taken action. Don't overthink it. Just do it. The old Nike slogan, in action. Just do it. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart, where today we're going to focus on thoughts to action. And as always, I'm going to bring you your kindness spotlight. We're going to talk about an organization that's using this idea of thoughts to action to bring their mission to life. Welcome to the Kindness Spotlight. Today we're going to talk about an organization that is moving from thoughts to action. The name of the organization, the Acumen Academy. It's the world's first school for social change. And their leader, Jacqueline Novogratz, she uses her title and her background to bring that mission to life, which is very clear. They don't just teach theory, they create action. The impact of this organization is enormous. There are 1,800 individuals who have taken their classes, that have become alumni of their class. They have a global reach, 193 countries, 70 million lives, 70 million people who've been touched by the work that they do, and 600,000 online learners. Over 500,000 people online learning how to bring thoughts to action through the Acumen Academy. So let's talk about how they do it. They start with character. Their character first. Moving from thought to action is all about character. We all get inside of our heads. We think about things. But when we move from thought to action, when we have that courage to act and the persistence to continue and the humility to learn, that's when we start making change. And that's what Acumen Academy does. This resonates here at Mornings in the Lab. We are an action-oriented organization at Business Athletes Performance Lab. We do first. We make mistakes, we fail fast, we learn, and we move forward. And the Acumen Academy does this too. They're supporting entrepreneurs with an ongoing program called the Acumen Angels. These are people who want to bring social change to the world, but maybe don't know how. They move from thought to action. Let's talk about the founder, Jacqueline. Jacqueline was a serial entrepreneur before she started Acumen. She co-founded the first microfinance institution in Rwanda, where there was all kinds of social problems and upheaval. She didn't just think about financial inclusion for those people, she actually created it. She made it happen. And through this organization and through that experience, again, she's brought 1,800 people along in 193 countries, touching 70 million lives and 600,000 online learners. This is what they do. They move from thought to action. They say, if something happens, then I'll do this. If then. So check out the Acumen Academy. acumenacademy.org is their website. Follow their work. Consider their fellowship programs. Sign up for the classes. They have free resources out there to check out. They will help you to move from thought to action. And this is the perfect example of what we bring every day here at Kindness Rising, spotlighting organizations that are out there doing good work for good people and helping us all move to making the world just a little bit better through our action. So check them out, acumenacademy.org, support their mission, and you too can move from thought to action. And that's today's Kindness Spotlight. Next, I want to move into the Kindness Good News. trying to get the music to work. I'm learning my way through some of this production. I've said it from the beginning. I'll keep saying it. We're about progress, not perfection. I hope you enjoy these little tunes and they bring some energy to each of our segments. But this is the Kindness Good News, where we bring insights from businesses and organizations that are doing good work and living the principles that we talk about every day here on Kindness Rising. And the organizations we're going to talk about today are no fly-by-night organizations. They're the ones you've heard of. They're publicly traded. They've experienced phenomenal growth as technology has emerged as the dominant force in our lives. Let's first talk about Netflix. You guys may have heard of Netflix, right? They have a motto, and it's think it, build it, ship it, tweak it. I love that motto. Think it, build it, ship it, tweak it. The think it happens first. We do have to have the thought, but then we move immediately to action. Build it, ship it, tweak it. And we learn as we go. And this is what has helped Netflix grow from a DVD by mail organization to a $150 billion streaming giant. They're leading the way. One of the things they're leading into is live conversation, just like we do right here on Kindness Rising in the Business Athletes Performance Lab, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. They've built their organization and their action on trust within their with their employees, trusting them to take the actions necessary to move the building forward. And their employee motto is freedom and responsibility. They give people the freedom to decide, to move, to make action, but they also reinforce the idea that they have the responsibility to make it happen. And what has happened for Netflix? They've had more engaged employees. They're bringing the innovation every day. They are a model of how to move quickly and how to build loyalty with their customer base through action. We all probably have experienced Netflix in our lives. They're going to continue to be a force for good. I know, as Keith and I talk about, they're moving towards the live vision with the idea of maybe someday hosting the Super Bowl, the world's biggest live event. They are focused on action to get them there. They're not just thinking about it. Let's move on to Spotify. I listen to Spotify every day. I love my music, from the Grateful Dead to hip hop to anything that helps me get up and get motivated for the day. Music is a constant in my life, and Spotify is my main source. This is not a commercial for Spotify. I'm just telling you about what I do. But also, the reason why Spotify has become a part of my life is because of their mission and the way they move to action. They have created small teams that are empowered to act. They're a huge organization, but by breaking it down into small teams that are fully empowered with the freedom to decide, to act, to make change, they continue to evolve and innovate. They've reached 500 million plus users. They are the world's most popular audio platform. They are top 10% in employee satisfaction in technology. Top 10%. Think about all the tech organizations in the world, small, big, whatever. The Spotify, by using this idea of encouraging their employees to act first, have a bias towards action, has moved into the top 10% of employee satisfaction. Because when people feel empowered to act, they feel valued and they stay loyal and they stay with our organizations. And research supports this. Harvard University, they have found that action-oriented leaders experience less anxiety and greater well-being within themselves. So by encouraging our employees to act first, we don't just help them, we help ourselves. That's key. It just kind of struck me. That's why I paused for a second. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, when we encourage our employees to act first, we as leaders get that benefit. We're no longer anxious. Is someone going to do something? Is something happening right? When we leave the freedom to make mistakes, to fail fast, to improve, we reduce our own anxiety and have greater well being because action brings clarity for people and uncertainty breeds stress. Action leads to certainty. Uncertainty breeds stress. And so it becomes a cycle. You have action, you have feedback, you learn, you adjust, and you build confidence. It's the plan, do, check, act cycle. Probably some of you out there have heard of that. It's pretty classic performance improvement theory. Not just theory, but it's actually something that you can do. But what I love about it is they add that confidence to the cycle. Take action, listen to feedback, learn, adjust, and build confidence. And University of Pennsylvania, they've done research about this too. People are 40% more likely to achieve their goals when they have clear action plans. There's a lot of thoughts out there, a lot of thoughts. I'm going to do, I'm thinking someday I will, one day I will. But when we have clear action plans, we are 40% more likely to achieve our goal, proven by the University of Pennsylvania. And the most effective interventions, the most effective actions are when we take our intentions and move them to focus on serving others. We talk about this on Kindness Rising a lot. Shatter your ego. Get rid of the thought that this is about me. When we focus on serving others with intention of action, we are 40% more likely to achieve our goals. So here's a couple of if-then statements as examples that might help us think about the way we approach our work and move from thought to action. If we see a customer struggling, then we will immediately offer assistance. If a team member needs support, then we will provide resources for them within 24 hours. I love this one. If we identify a community need, then we will develop a solution within 30 days. These are examples of if-then statements in business. We can use them in business. We can use them in our personal life. We'll get into our kindness call where we'll start thinking about how it impacts us individually. But the key is that move from thought to action is what's going to get us the benefits that we really, really want, that we're looking for, that we want to drive our growth, and we'll be 40% more likely to achieve our goal when we have clear action plans and move from thought to action. We'll have higher employee retention. People will stick with us when they know they can create ideas and be given a chance to try them out. We'll have stronger customer loyalty. Companies who respond quickly gain the trust of their customers and are able to hold on those customers and grow. We'll have better financial performance, better results from action-oriented cultures, and we'll have the competitive advantage. While our competitors, the people who might steal business from us, take business from us, are thinking about what to do, we're acting. We stand out by actually making a difference. Even if we make mistakes, it's gonna happen. We're gonna learn, we're gonna grow, we're gonna get that feedback, and we're gonna continue to build confidence because action builds results, not thoughts. It starts with a thought. You got to have the idea, but immediately moving to action and testing that idea is what's going to help us separate ourselves from the competition. Because when our default response is seeing a need to take action, we're not just building a better business, we're building a better world. And the research is clear. Companies that operate this way don't just do good, they do well. And that's today's Kindness Good News, where we talk about business every day and the concepts of kindness and how we bring them to the world, making the world better one act at a time. Thank you very much. And next, I want to move into our kindness call. Every day, I ask our audience to think about what they are going to do differently, moving from thought to action. One simple thing that we can do to have a bias towards action, towards doing something differently, to build engagement and to grow as humans. So let's talk about that. Today, I want to focus on the implementation intention challenge. If then, I'm saying it over and over again because it's really important. If something happens, then I will do something, and adding a specific time frame to it really gets us moving in the right direction. So think about examples from your life. If I see someone struggling in the grocery store, I will provide them assistance immediately. There's an example of bringing kindness to our actions. I want you to write it down. Actually, take the time to write down something that you've been thinking about doing and how something might trigger you to take action. Take action today if you can, but maybe think about what's that trigger. If something happens, what's the act that I am going to do to make my dream come true? We hear it so many times in our lives right now, right? The classic, how you doing? Well, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. But are you? Usually it's a sarcastic response, right? This is a way to really live the dream. I did it in my life. I'm continuing to do it in my life. I think about these things. If something happens, how am I going to react and how am I going to benefit from it? It actually really helps to get it out there, to tell people this is what I'm going to do. Tell your wife, tell your husband, tell your friends, tell your family. If this opportunity happens, then I'm going to do this. You got to move from I should or I could to I will. You don't want to change everything. Think about one small act that you can do to make that change, to have that impact. One action, one person, one moment that will make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. And then together, collectively, we have the power to help individuals rise, and that becomes a collective thing, and the entire world rises. What are you going to do today? If something happens, then you're going to do this by a specific time. I hope that's a helpful piece of advice. Usually we get into the comments. I'm going to do that now too. There's a few of them out there. I'm always interested to see who's joined us in the community. We know we have our a loyal audience we're building here. Every day I see the numbers going up. Get out there and share the message about what we're doing here on Kindness Rising. Encourage people to get up with intent, get up with positivity by joining Kindness Rising. Be driven, Bernard. You're always there for me. I appreciate it. Stick with us. I see you in the comments. We're gonna go over here and we see Lady Drew. We always talk about you. Thank you so much. I got your comment yesterday on my LinkedIn Facebook or my LinkedIn feed too, and I appreciate that you're following me and following the work we do, not just here on YouTube, but over on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Substack, all the places where we're bringing kindness to the world. Learn all you can and do it. Do the very best you can and never give up. I love that message. Thank you so much. Adam Holroyd, we call you the OG, right? The first person to subscribe to the Mornings in the Lab network, and with a paid commitment. We appreciate you, and thanks for joining us. The last one is with true positive thoughts, words, and behaviors, we can all be strong, including better together. That's from Lady Drew. Thank you so much. So keep joining, keep coming here every morning, 7:30 a.m. and follow right over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. All week long, we're talking about the business mindset, Here on Kindness Rising today, we talked about thoughts to actions. We reviewed organizations, huge mega giants in the world: Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, organizations that are touching our lives every day with technology, and how they use a bias towards action to separate from their competitors and achieve their business goals. Massive growth of those organizations, constant innovation. And we're doing that too here at the Business Athletes Performance Lab and the Mornings in the Lab Network and on Kindness Rising. Thank you for joining us. I want to talk a little bit about my bias towards action, of course. I want to help nonprofits, charities, and social impact organizations to be seen, to amplify their voice, to help their missions grow. And I'm doing that through the Visibility Project. Starting in September, it's going to be a 4-week class. We're going to help nonprofit leaders and organizations to get their mission out. Most of those organizations are so focused on delivering their mission, they forget to tell people about it. I want to help you tell people about your mission, to amplify your voice, and to increase your impact. Come join the Visibility Project. We'll get through it together and learn and grow. I appreciate it. I love teaching, and that's what I'm going to do with the Visibility Project. So please come out and check it out. Find me on LinkedIn, drop into my DMs, find me on Substack, on Facebook, on Instagram, all those places. Also, don't forget, I started a new series of short videos. I appreciate that people are willing to stick around for a half hour with me every day on Kindness Rising. I take highlights from the show and other ideas of kindness and break them down into small nuggets. It's the Kindness Nugget series. So be on the lookout for that. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those places. Join the Kindness Rising channel, subscribe, and spread the message so that we can continue to amplify voices and do good work for good people. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Last is my plea for guests. Always, always. I'm going to be doing some active reach out to people to get some guests on this show, because conversation is where real action begins. Talking about the things we're doing, learning from each other, motivating and inspiring each other is what I want to do here on Kindness Rising. I know we've got a great community growing out there. I welcome you all into the comments, and I welcome people to come on, be guests, have a conversation with me. Tell me about how kindness is changing your life, because it does. When we focus on shattering our ego and bringing our best self to the world, it changes our life. So thank you very much again from Kindness Rising. Head on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friend. Continue the conversation about the business mindset. And remember, if then. Think about the things that are going to trigger the action, define the time frame. That's what's going to make a difference in your life every day. Get out of your head and get moving towards action. And that's how we'll make a better world and rise together. And as always, stay uncommon and stay kind.